Hi, it's Jan. So I had my 1 year checkup with Dr. Anita Corkelis's office in Pittsburgh at McGee Women's Hospital. So it's been a year and change since my VSG surgery, and it was a really good checkup. I had gone and had my blood work drawn a couple weeks ago to check my D and B levels, and they were really high, and so I had backed off on my vitamins, but the doctor here told me that to go back on them, especially since I backed off on them and I started having more problems with, feeling run down and low and, just feeling like crap. So I'm going to start taking those again. We talked about heartburn, and I take a proton pump inhibitor, but I take a very low dose of it, and I've had some breakthrough heartburn, but we think since it's predominantly in the morning, it's probably linked to my coffee habit. 4 cups in the morning, and I don't know if you've seen me with my cups on the pictures that I've taken, but the cup is big, so like a pot of coffee in the morning. So I'm gonna try and back off on that and find other things to eat. Hey, here's my friend. Hey, big guy. Hi, how you doing? She's saying, let me go out, I gotta go poop. So we also talked about plastic surgery consultations. I pointed out that my remaining weight is all in the belly region and that my insurance doesn't let me do anything about that until 18 months. And she said it's way too early to even think about it now, which I knew, and I know that, I just have to do the rest of this hard work on my own. I have about maybe 20 pounds to go. And those 20 pounds would have come off just like that in the beginning, but it's the same battle as the rest of the world fights. It's harder, and the smaller you get, the less calories you burn from exercise, and this is what I worked for. So I'm just still at, in go mode with this. One of the things that I'm really vowing not to do, no matter how tempting it seems, is to not stop logging my foods. There are a lot of people that say, hey, I stopped logging my foods and I did just fine and I became less obsessed and stuff. I do concentrate on logging my foods. I don't consider myself to be obsessed by it, but I like to know. And I've noticed that the last couple days there have been some stuff that I've left off just because I have gotten back into the habit of eating in the car. So I'm going to try to curtail that and make sure that I have the foods that I want to eat at home, or if I'm not eating at home and I eat someplace out, I'm eating at a sit-down place in a restaurant and not eating in my car, because I think that that's detrimental to me. I think I don't really even focus. Okay, when I say eating in my car, I mean eating while I'm driving. So I don't want to not focus on that. I want to enjoy the food that I'm eating instead of using it as a coping mechanism for whatever stress I'm facing. And believe me, the stress is huge. My husband is great. My kids are great. Really nothing's going wrong except for the fact that it's winter. And I don't know if there are any of you, raise your hands, that don't do winter well, but I'm allergic to winter. I ought to have that in my medical chart. In fact, they ought to write me a prescription to be able to go south in the winter. I live in Pittsburgh, and this is one of the warmer places that I've lived in. It's actually a really good climate because it doesn't get too hot in the summer, and it doesn't get too cold in the winter, but still, just winter is unrelenting. And I need to see something growing. I might need to go out to buy some flowers or some bulbs or some type of a plant that's going to bloom in my house to perk me up. I've been using my seasonal affective disorder lamp, but I think doing my indoor workout and being in the pool is not helping me. I was doing better when I was outside, but it's just too cold and too icy. So they were very positive at my appointment. She said it was exciting for her to see me still losing at 1 year. I'm down 85 pounds from my surgery, and from my high weight, I'm down like 120 overall. They didn't see me at my heaviest, but, so they can only go from where they are. It's, let's see, 105, I think, from the time that I started with the bariatric program altogether. So they gave me a shot of B12. Wow, this really hurt. I felt it here. I felt it across my knuckles in this hand. It hurt so bad, it still hurts. And then, like I said, they drew blood to check protein, calcium, magnesium, all kinds of stuff. So we'll see how that all comes out. I always dread going to these appointments because there have been people there in the past that have been, let's say, sharpish, and have remarked about this or that I've said in a way that made me feel bad. Maybe it's me taking it that way. Maybe I'm too oversensitive. But today was a very positive appointment, and that was good. I don't feel like I've done everything that I could possibly do. I don't feel like my sleeve is small enough. I don't feel like I have enough restriction. I don't feel like I'm working out enough. I feel like I'm too wrinkly. Look at that. Waddle. Yeah. I feel, I have all this negative stuff, and I'm trying to do more positive self-talk instead. It's the winter. I need my happy place. My happy place is definitely in Florida, and I'm just not there. So, but on the good side, we had daylight savings time, so that brings us one step closer. And then St. Patrick's Day is even, that brings it even closer. And then pretty soon we get to Easter, and by that time we got stuff blooming. So that's my 1 year surgeon visit update. And I'll put this up and, let me know how things are going for you. I'd like to know where everybody is.